Welcome to Modern Home Masterminds with beSpoke Brokers. I'm Shawna, Glazier, designated broker and owner.
And I'm Brittainy Williamson, associate broker. Shawna and I are beSpoke real estate, but we're also your guides to modern luxury across the entire state of Arizona.
Each week, we chat with masterminds shaping the modern spaces. Do you want to get a behind-the-scenes look at your design build team's processes? Well, open communication and teamwork will lead you to a successful project.
From architects to builders, designers, and more, let's explore the art of modern living together.
All right, welcome back. How did three architects unite their distinct visions to establish an award-winning design build firm that seamlessly integrates design and construction? Today's guests, James Trahan and John Anderson from 180 Degrees, are here to tell us.
Yes, welcome. James and John, along with Troy Vincent, are the partners and principals of 180 Degrees Design and Build. 180 Degrees is an architect-led design build firm that specializes in high-end custom residential design and remodels, technically challenging commercial design and construction, historic preservation, and adaptive reuse.
Thank you for having us.
Welcome. All right, well, why don't we start from the beginning? How did 180 Degrees come to be?
So John and I were working together at a company in the early 90s called Architectural Resource Team. We were doing some mainly community projects, educational, recreational, and we did a small project for a community center. We were really kind of disgruntled about the way the quality of the construction was coming out, so we decided to go get a general contractor's license. We became residential contractors, and in probably 2001, got our first commission for a private residence. And from there, we just continued to do design build work. So,
And then Troy joined you at some point?
Troy joined us about 10 years ago. Troy had his own practice doing a lot of development work in multifamily. Troy and I went to college together at LSU in Baton Rouge, so we've known each other for 35 years. John and I were so busy on the construction side that we felt that our architecture was kind of taking a back seat, and we really needed to reinforce our design skills. And so we brought Troy in to run our architectural studio, and he's been doing a great job with a team of about 10.
So what percentage do you have right now that is design build as opposed to building for others?
Yeah, so I think for the first 10 years, we were probably 60 to 70% building for others, with the remaining for ourselves. Over the years, we've really transferred that. Maybe the last 8 years, it was 50-50, but as we move into current work, it's more 75-25 for ourselves. And so that trend is continuing to ratchet up. We're doing most of our own.
Are you guys ever just the architect?
We are just the architect a lot of times, and we're just the contractor a lot of times, so or just fabricator sometimes, so we can wear many hats.
Yeah, some clients come to us and say, hey, I have a GC, I just need your design work. Or we're designing a project in Colorado or Hawaii, and we get a local builder there to do that construction. Yeah, so it happens.
Who picked the name?
I picked the name years ago. We didn't want it after any particular person's name. We wanted to do something completely different, and we thought 180 Degrees had an interesting spin to it, that we could be completely different, 180 degrees different, and that's how we came up with the name. So
I like it.
I do too. So you do both commercial and residential work still. I'd love to talk with, have you tell our listeners a little bit about the type of projects that you do. I know you mentioned specifically you're doing something for the Botanical Gardens.
yeah, so we've probably the first maybe 5 or 6 years, our portfolio was predominantly residential. After the third year in business, we got our commercial license, and we started to explore commercial work. We really like the commercial aspect of things. We've been working, collaborating with Collab Studio on the Botanical Garden Horticultural Center for the past 10 years. We're finishing our 7th building in a couple of months, and then we have 2 buildings left on that campus. So we've been able to really explore the science behind the project, because it involves seed labs, greenhouses. We're really looking into plant science, so the buildings are really high performance. And so for a commercial standpoint, we're not just a regular commercial building, but we really look at advanced systems and breathable membranes and how buildings perform. And so that's really our focus on the commercial side as well.
And switching from a lot of residential work to the commercial side wasn't really a big leap for us because a lot of the projects that we do are not typical homes that you would see, and they're very commercial in their nature. So, when you have a house that spans a wash, that doesn't, translate into a regular construction job. You got steel studs in there, and it's really more of a commercial project than residential.
Right. Oh, that is true. And hopefully our listeners can get on your website, or they're also watching and can see some of the projects we have on the monitors.
Yeah. So is this one of the greenhouses?
Yeah, this is one of the 2 greenhouses we built several years ago.
Where is this one?
This is on kind of pretty much on the east side of the garden. It's kind of, it's behind the scenes. It's where all of the, the botanists work, all the propagation takes place. It's the behind the scenes of the project. Yeah, and it's just been they've been a great client. The plants have been their number one priority. So we really designed for the plants first, people second.
That's great.
And we've held that vision for 10 years, and we've got 2 more buildings left. So
We're going to have to take a bespoke field trip.
I was just thinking that I haven't been to the Botanical Gardens in probably 10 years.
Yeah.
It's been at least 10 years.
we have to go. They've got our new exhibit gallery that just opened on March 15th. Has a show called Orchid Fever, and the building's full of orchids, and it's quite lovely.
All right. We're going to plan it. And we got to stop by your office and have a tour and everything that's going on there. I'd love to chat a little bit about that. And I think we have some photos of the office space too. So and that wall. I love that wall.
I'll let John take it because he was our project manager on the project.
Kind of still am. We still haven't wrapped it up yet.
Yeah, I've been
Seems pretty tidy.
I've been
It seemed
I've been pushing you to wrap it up.
You what?
So we bought this building. It was a 1948 building. It's had multiple lives. It was a post office at one point, a paint store, and other items. But when we bought it, it was a antique store, and it was just packed full of stuff. But when we walked in there, we saw these giant bowstring trusses, and it's like, okay, well, this is a beautiful space to have an office in. And so we bought the building, pardon me, and started remodeling it, and had to upgrade everything. Right, we had new electrical, new plumbing, new HVAC, and as we've grown as a firm, we've been slowly outfitting the rest of the building. We just recently did the exterior, and a lot of the things that we're doing there, the steel work, the concrete work, that's all self-performed. We're doing that in-house.
Yeah, it's so convenient that it's all right there. You don't have to go downtown to a different shop. And so do you have clients come in and look at the material in your shop while you're fabricating it, or
Yeah,
do mock-ups for them?
yeah, it's great to have our fabrication studio, which is called the Guild, right adjacent to our architectural studio, because we do a lot of mock-ups and a lot of prototypes. So clients can come into our shop, see what we're doing. They could have a sneak peek at it, and then we kind of looked at the office as a model for what we can do. So when you come into our office, there's a lot of glass, there's a lot of steel, custom concrete, which we all self-perform, and so. It's a nice, well-lit space that really the staff loves, and we like to entertain clients. We have a big open house art event this Friday from 6 to 9, highlighting an artist. So,
And that's open to the public?
yeah, you're welcome to come.
What is Friday? What time?
6 to 9.
6 to 9. Helen, you put that on our calendar? All right.
And you do
I
those
think we'll
pretty
stop by.
regularly, correct?
Last November, well, I'll back up. In 2009, we did our first art show called The Box 1.0. We had just a couple of artists. We didn't sell too much. We had maybe 200 people show up. But last fall in November for First Friday, we actually did Box 2.0. We had over 450 people, 15 local artists, and sold about just under $30,000
Amazing.
with some of the proceeds being donated to the Arizona Architectural Foundation and also Smoka Alliance. So,
That's amazing.
yeah, it's fun.
Are either of you artists? outside of architecture? Like, do you actually make smaller art?
I dabble in watercolor when I travel,
Water.
He does a lot of watercolor.
mainly when I travel.
When you travel?
Yeah.
I do it in a small scale on planes, trains, and automobiles, and it's kind of a relaxing thing for me going from city to city.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Okay. That is a good thing to do while you're traveling.
For sure. Take out some time. This kind of leads us right into your community involvement because you've mentioned, giving back to certain locations, but you're also part of the Arizona Kids Build. Can you tell our listeners kind of what that is? And
Yep. You want to take it?
Yeah, so it's a program that teaches elementary school students about architecture. I think it's 6 weeks is the program, and so there's a class every week, and you learn about spatial qualities, environmental issues, light, shadow, heat, cooling, things like that. Then we teach them about scale and reading drawings and how do what's a scale drawing look like, right? And there's a tour that goes out to the shelters at the Taliesin West, right? So we'll give them a tour through the shelters, and so they can kind of get an idea about what architecture could be. And it's really a really fun program with the kids. And so different offices will sponsor a school. So your office would take care of one school, and then another office like Jones Studio, they'll have their own school that they go to and teach. And, so it's multiple schools around the state that are being affected by having these programs, which is really wonderful. And the end of the program is a build day where the kids get to design their own little structure, and then we build scale models with them to where they're actually putting pieces together. And it's really fun. It's fascinating to watch them, start to understand what you can do with space and architecture.
It's brilliant. I mean, and it's just planting seeds on what their future what they might want their future to look like. I want to take
How many
the
of these
class.
kids could, end up being the next architect or an engineer,
Yeah.
planner?
We're also even encouraging them to get into building too. I mean, the lack of labor in building is a real issue. But
Marie Jose, our business director, CFO, she was one of the founders.
oh really?
And so it's been a pet project of hers for over a decade, and our foundation funds them every year along with other firms. So it's really a great program.
What grades did you say? What
5th grade.
It's 5th grade.
Yep.
That's fantastic. Also, let's talk a little bit about, John, your involvement with the Frank Lloyd Wright Foundation. And then if we could touch, I know Troy's involvement with the Phoenix Art Museum. I think it'd be great for our listeners to know.
Yeah, so I've been on the board of trustees for the foundation for a few years now. And it's really fascinating to see, everybody in Arizona knows about Taliesin West. And, you kind of think of it as a museum, but it's actually quite a bit more. And the foundation does a lot more than just upkeeping the property and doing tours. The stepping back, part of Wright's original will was that the foundation would oversee taking care of Taliesin West and Taliesin. So there's 2 different sites, 2 different locations that we manage and deal with preservation. We also have different types of events. We do have the Taliesin Institute, which brings in different students from different colleges around the world to learn and study at Taliesin and Taliesin West. And it's an incredible outreach. There's no school anymore. The School of Architecture now has been separated from the foundation, but we still have a great relationship with the School of Architecture. Their students are coming to the site for different programs and really integrating into the Taliesin Institute. So we have 400 students that were involved with the foundation last year. So it's a big outreach.
And we've had a long history with Taliesin. We've probably done 14 projects on the campus.
Really?
Yeah, and so it's kind of a real honor as a design builder to work on that property. It's a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Some of the projects you could never tell what we did. It involved
Didn't you guys do
waterproofing.
the gate? What, did you do the front entry gate?
We did.
The new entry gate, yes.
I think my son figured that out somehow. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, so we've been fortunate to have our hand on that project over the years. So it's been a real honor.
I have reservations on Thursday night for is it the Sunset and
and
Sips? Yeah. So and we took our kids there recently and toured, and it's really cool.
Yeah, there's a lot of great summer programs they do with kids to teach them about architecture. It's absolutely wonderful. And it's not just architecture, right? There's landscape and environmentalism, and there's all kinds of different programs that tie into what Wright was doing there. Yeah.
I mean, he was all about the arts, and it involved music and culture and just about everything. So
Well, and just the education component regarding the landscape and the orientation and the sun, and it was. I want to go back and take the same tour we took because I feel like there's so much more to learn.
Yeah, and I mean, it's obvious how important the arts were to him when you tour places like that, because you see there's still a piano there. There's, it's the way that some of the rooms were built were, I mean, you're like, oh, this feels like a theater or a church or, that sort of thing. So it was very important.
Yeah, there's
Obvious.
plays in the pavilion. There's movie night in the cabaret, which is really fun. So there's always something happening out there other than tours.
Yeah.
and if you want to get in it with the fifth graders, we'll get you
I want
involved.
to.
We'll
I
give you a
do.
shelter tour, and you can build your own shelter.
I actually do. I do.
Yes, that would be so much fun. So, last but not least, let's talk about.
Well, I don't want to interrupt you, but I want to hear a little bit about Troy's involvement with the Phoenix Art Museum too, and then we can move on. And I want to look at projects that you guys are working on.
Yeah, so we've been involved with the Phoenix Art Museum for years. One of the first things we did as a firm is we installed one of the sculpture pieces in the garden. We were involved. I was on the board of the Contemporary Forum when it was a support organization. We did art and architecture tours, which paired beautiful homes with great art collections. That got disbanded years ago. But Troy's recent involvement has been with the Men's Art Council. So he's been supporting the museum for a couple of years now with their program. So we always try to have our hand in the arts, both with Phoenix Art Museum and with SMOCA. So
Yeah, it pairs really well with what you do.
it pairs very well. And we love art. We love art integration into our work. A lot of our designs integrate some components of art. It's really special for us to do that.
So let's talk about the Arizona Architecture Foundation. Can you explain to our listeners what that is and kind of how you're involved?
Yeah, so two foundations started years ago. The Rio Salado Architecture Foundation was formed in '83 by a group of the chapter, the Rio Salado Architecture chapter. And there was another chapter, the Central Arizona chapter, that formed a foundation called Central Arizona Foundation. A couple of years, we decided to merge the foundation and take it statewide. So we rebranded to the Arizona Architecture Foundation. So we've been in a foundation for 43 years. Our endowments sponsor travel prizes to architecture students, to emerging professionals. We support future cities competitions in high school. We talked about the Kids Build. We support podcasts. Anything for the advocacy of architecture, we support. And we're kind of a group of about 40 membership. And I've been president for 2 years, and my presidency ends in June, and I'm going to hand off the baton to Carolyn Lobo, a local architect. So it's really great to be part of, a foundation that can give back so much, similar to what John's doing, on the Frank Lloyd Wright Foundation. So
Yeah, and one of the great things that the foundation does is preserving drawings and other items from architects around the valley. There's a lot of like the old Lesher and Mahoney hand-drawn sets of plan sets, and um, these hard copy originals that people were doing by hand. Being able to archive those and have them available for people to look at and to research is really important, and it preserves the legacy of architecture in the valley. If you get people like Al Beadle, and you've got Ned Sawyer and these wonderful architects that really changed the look of the valley, to be able to preserve what they did as an architect, not just the building, but the things that helped them make the building, is absolutely a wonderful thing.
yeah, we've saved over 20 architects' collections to date. Our archive committee within the foundation has hit 10 years last year. We've saved over 30,000 original drawings that are pre-1985. So any hand drawing before 1985 is our mission to save. We've got an event in Tucson on April 17th celebrating the work of Arthur Brown, a Tucson architect that was a modernist who left a huge legacy in Tucson. And we just worked with the family to preserve his collection. So yeah, that's a good point to add, that we're also preserving Arizona legacy.
I mean, I feel like this show has been all about how well you are connected in our community and giving back to our community and your industry, which you guys have done. But also you design and build the coolest buildings out there. You know, you have such an esteemed, established company, and we love showing your product. I wonder if we can't show some products. I want to get that on here a little bit. Well, even, what do you call it? Upuse, not reuse? What is the project with the white panels?
Oh, the Elite Family Services.
Well, and throughout the show, we will be showing some of your products too, projects. This one's really cool.
It's an incredible transformation of a dollar store.
So this photo here, yeah, was a dollar store.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so this project came about. This project was going on separately. John and I have had a relationship with Allison King of Modern Phoenix for over 25 years. We've always collaborated on things, and she's a historian. She's an archivist. She knows everything about Phoenix mid-century. She called me one day and said, "Hey, you have to come check out this building at APS headquarters." I said, "Well, what do you have going on, Allison?" She says they're about to throw away 125 of these mid-century panels that are on the building. And so I went and took a look, and I said, okay, these are really, really beautiful. Told John, and we always have these interesting dialogues of like, what are we going to do with all that? I'm like, I don't know, but we have to save them.
It's not like they're small panels and you can just put them in the backyard, right?
Yeah.
So
Quite a bit of space.
So they're 3,800 pounds a piece. They're 5 feet wide. They're 7 feet tall. And so our client had bought this dollar store in Chandler, and she had quite a bit of space around the back side. So we made a deal. I said, if you can let us store the panels at your facility, we'll give you 20 of them for free. She said, that's a deal, because we had about a year of construction to transform this dollar store into a behavioral health clinic, which is an interesting transformation. So we figured it out. It cost us a ton of money to do this, but we picked up 95 panels in the end. We've used 22 on this project. We have 3 projects that are using another 15 to 20, and we've got a lot of clients that are interested in it. So we still have probably 65 panels. So if anyone's interested, call me. We're willing to make a deal. We just want to make sure they find a good location and a good home. They're the most beautiful pieces of precast concrete we've ever seen. Fred Gary, mid-century architect, was the designer of the panels. And they're just fabulous. They cleaned up really well.
They are beautiful.
I love the light and the shadow that they create.
Yeah. So our team has figured out how to move them. We've moved them several times. We figured out how to get them to stand up. So.
All right. Well, we like to do a little rapid fire questions. So meant to be 1-word answers. Put you on the spot. They're easy though. Why Phoenix?
Opportunity.
Yeah.
I grew up here.
Oh, native?
Yep. And I've seen the transformation of the valley with architects like, Ned Sawyer, Eddie Jones, a lot of these wonderful architects have started transforming the valley. And to be part of that has been a wonderful thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's 1 word, right?
That's 1 word.
I did follow the directions,
but,
right?
yeah. But he starts talking about some of my favorite architects too, and we've represented multiple Ned Sawyer and Eddie Jones projects. So yeah, yes, we're on the same vibe. So his answer was okay.
It was okay. Okay.
1 word or 1 sentence.
Yeah. One
Sometimes
thought.
we let it go a little further. Who's your favorite architect?
I like the work of Faye Jones.
I love Faye Jones.
I know
an Arkansan.
In your neck of the woods, he's done some of the most amazing. I think from an American architect, besides Frank Lloyd Wright, I think Fay Jones is one of the best that we've seen.
I'm going to go with the one that Eddie Jones said on your podcast, and that'd be Gotti. Just fascinating work. Crazy, not my style, but absolutely interesting and fascinating what he's done.
It's my style. I love it.
Do you?
Mhm.
It is fascinating. Morning person or night owl?
Morning.
Morning.
Used to be night, now it's morning because of the construction.
Yeah, when you're doing construction in Phoenix, you got to get up early,
Right.
or stay up through the night.
We kind of do both.
Yeah. Favorite travel destination?
Italy. Heading there in 2 weeks.
Ooh. Is that the design week or no? That their big thing in Milan.
This is James Week.
Oh, James week.
Italy.
Italy. Yeah. We get that a lot.
We're trying to figure out a way to have an office there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you can write it off all the Italy trips.
Maybe.
All right. If you could give your younger self one piece of advice, what would it be?
Stay curious.
Mm-hmm.
That might be a Ted Lasso saying. I'm not sure.
And John is thinking, just for our listeners.
I don't have any
One
good
piece of
advice. I knew early on that I wanted to be an architect, and I just kept my head down and did it. So
Yeah,
maybe it's going to be great.
it's gonna
It's going to be fun.
yeah,
Yeah.
hang in there. Just
Yeah.
keep it on. Yeah, because architecture school isn't easy, right?
Oh, no.
No.
It was fun, though, for me. Met lifelong friends that
Obviously. And then you all moved to Phoenix.
all moved to Phoenix. A bunch of LSU Tigers.
You had to plug that, didn't you?
Had to plug
You had
it.
to. You had to. All right, James and John, thank you so much for coming on our show today. We are going to link all of your contact information in our show notes, but if you want to tell our listeners where they could find you, best place.
180degreesinc.com.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you guys.
Thank you for having us.
That is it for today's episode of Modern Home Mastermind. If you've enjoyed the show, please like, rate, and subscribe.
Thanks to our guests for sharing their insights and to you for learning about everything modern with us.
If you are ready to take the next step in your real estate journey, please reach out to us at beSpoke Real Estate. And until next time, keep living, loving everything modern.